Hello, mind wanderers. Welcome back to a new exploration into the depths of the psyche. This video is inspired by the ideas of Carl Gustav Jung, paraphrased for clarity. Today, we're going to explore Jung's concept of the shadow, one of his most powerful psychological insights. What is the shadow? Why do we hide parts of ourselves? And what happens when we finally face our inner darkness? Carl Jung in the shadow, facing your inner darkness. Hello, my friend. Sit with me for a moment. I'd like to talk to you about something we all carry, though few dare to face it. It's something ancient, powerful, and often misunderstood. I call it the shadow. Not the shadow you see on the ground when the sun hits your back. No, this one lives within. It walks beside you. It is you, though you may not recognize its face. What is the shadow? The shadow is everything within us that we have pushed away, denied, rejected, or hidden. The emotions we label as bad, the thoughts we find unacceptable, the desires we've learned to suppress to be loved, to be safe, to belong. As children, we're told, don't be angry, don't be selfish, don't cry. Be nice. So we tuck those parts of ourselves away, deep down where no one can see, and we try to forget. But those parts, they do not vanish. They go underground. And from there, they whisper. They influence. They leak out in moments of stress, envy, frustration, or fear. You see, what we repress does not die. It waits. The everyday face of the shadow. Have you ever snapped at someone and surprised even yourself? Or felt intense dislike for someone without really knowing why? That's the shadow showing its face. It often comes through projection. That is, we see in others what we cannot bear to see in ourselves. We call them arrogant, selfish, dramatic, without realizing we're speaking to the parts of us that we've cast into darkness. You might think, I'm nothing like that, and perhaps that's true on the surface. But the shadow lives beneath surfaces. It waits in the gaps between who we are and who we pretend to be. Why we need the shadow. Now, this might all sound frightening, but let me tell you, the shadow is not your enemy. Quite the opposite. The shadow holds energy, creativity, passion, depth. Without it, we become shallow imitations of ourselves, polished masks, smiling but hollow, good but not whole. To become fully alive, to become who you are, you must turn toward your darkness. You must walk into the cave you fear and meet the beast within. And here is the paradox. When you do, you will often find it's not a beast at all. It's just a part of you, long ignored, aching to be seen. Meeting the shadow. So how do we begin? First, with honesty. Start by noticing your reactions. Who triggers you? Why? What qualities in others provoke you most? Often those clues point toward parts of yourself you've disowned. Second, with curiosity, not judgment. Don't say, I shouldn't feel this. Instead, ask, why do I feel this? Create space between reaction and reflection. Third, with humility. You are not only the good things you show the world. You are also the parts you've buried. But that's not shameful, that's human. The goal is not to destroy the shadow. It cannot be destroyed. The goal is integration. Integration, not elimination. Integration means making the unconscious conscious. It means recognizing that you can feel anger without being ruled by it, that you can have selfish impulses and still act with compassion. When the shadow is integrated, you no longer need to pretend. You become more real, more grounded, more complete. And interestingly, others will feel it. There's something magnetic about a person who has met their shadow. They feel solid somehow. Not perfect, never perfect, but real. Alive, capable of both fire and tenderness. The cost of avoidance. Avoiding the shadow has a price. It can make us rigid, moralistic, anxious, or numb. We become over-identified with our persona, the mask we wear in society, and lose touch with the depth of who we are. Sometimes, when the shadow is denied for too long, it bursts forth uncontrollably. It can erupt in addiction, aggression, depression, or in projections that tear relationships apart. That's why it's better to face it consciously, with gentleness and courage, than to let it erupt from the dark. The gift of the shadow. If you're brave enough to walk with your shadow, it will guide you. It will show you the parts of yourself that were silenced. It will return your emotional vitality. It may even reveal gifts you'd forgotten were yours, like intuition, assertiveness, sensuality, and creativity. You will become less reactive, more whole. You'll stop fearing your darkness because you'll know it belongs too. And that, my friend, is what I call the beginning of transformation. A quiet invitation. So, tonight before bed, think back on your day. When did something stir you deeply? When did you feel judgment or shame or envy? What part of you were you tempted to hide? Sit with those moments, not to criticize, not to analyze, simply to notice, to listen, to welcome the stranger at the door, as the poet says, because the shadow is not here to harm you. It's here to reunite you with yourself. Thank you for walking with me through this reflection. If you choose to continue this path of honesty, of integration, of wholeness, know that you're not alone. We all carry a shadow. But in facing it, we discover the light behind it. And that, my friend, is where the true journey begins.